So in today's video, I want to talk about how your nervous system and having a regulated versus dysregulated nervous system affects so many different areas of your life. And if you're experiencing anxiety, if you are having a hard time expressing yourself, if you're having a hard time feeling safe in a relationship that you're in, even though your partner is supportive, if you're having a hard time with feeling vulnerable to express yourself, if you're having a hard time with tension in your body, if you're having anxiety around relationships, anxiety around your health, feeling constant and chronic pain in your body because you're constantly in fight or flight, or you feel dysregulated, if you said yes to any of those things that I've listed, this video is for you, because I'm going to be talking about a reason that you may be having those thoughts and feelings in your body. And I have a really exciting announcement for today. I am going to be launching a course that helps you regulate your nervous system so that you do not feel this strong sense of always being on the go, always being hyper vigilant, being on high alert, because maybe what you experience in your relationships is that you get the guy of your dreams, but you're not able to relax and surrender. That you have the body that you want, but you always feel that you're in constant pain in your body, or that you actually manifest health issues even though there's nothing physically wrong with you. You manifest this through anxiety. This course will be for you if you constantly feel like you have to be on high alert, that you cannot relax into your body, that you cannot actually access your feminine energy, and you can't really surrender into it and into the moment, and you're constantly trying to make sense of what you feel, and you're constantly trying to change the way that you feel or fix your problems instead of actually regulating your nervous system. And so what this course will do is it will help you regulate your nervous system so that you're actually able to manifest things that you want, so that there isn't as much resistance in manifesting the things that you want. Because I believe that it is a matter of feeling safe versus not feeling safe in the body. And when you're able to feel safe in your body, you naturally manifest the things that you want, because you remove that resistance, because you're able to regulate your nervous system. You're able to move between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight and the rest and digest. You're able to move freely, and you're able to use your body and your mind at will in the way that you want to, instead of fighting against it, instead of numbing and fleeing, or instead of freezing. So this course is going to be helping you navigate how to actually regulate your nervous system so that you're able to move freely back and forth between the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, the fight or flight and the rest and digest. And so you're actually able to feel good in your body and lean back into your feminine energy and let go of all the anxiety that you feel and the constant racing of thoughts. And whether that manifests into your body in manifesting illness, or manifesting pain, chronic pain in your back, or holding onto tension in your body because you're unable to process your emotions, this is what this course is going to help you with. So let's get right into the topic of this video. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about why you may be feeling this tension in your body, the anxiety, the inability to express yourself. Maybe you've manifested chronic back pain, or constantly being hyper vigilant on what is going on in your body, the sensations that are going on in your body, being so hyper fixated on, oh my gosh, my back hurts. Oh, like there's this tension in this part of my body. And the more you focus on it, or like even just noticing a lump in your throat, or noticing that your heart is closed off, or noticing tension in your hips, I noticed that something that started to happen with me when I started doing my inner work and being more aware of my patterns and more aware of what is going on within my body. Instead of actually using that in a healthy way, I started to be overly hypervigilant, because I was already in fight or flight. I was already on high alert, trying to protect myself, being in my sympathetic fight or flight nervous system. But then when I became more self-aware of my patterns, I became even super ultra hyper vigilant of what was going on in my body. And doing this led me to being super focused on what was constantly changing and happening in my body. And the more I did this, the more I learned about nutrition, the more I learned about what kinds of diseases can happen if you eat certain foods, the more I learned and became aware of these things, because there is so much information in this world. And if you're someone like me who always loves learning more about how to improve your life, maybe you've also fell into the same pattern of learning a little bit too much and then kind of like going all in and hyper fixating on the problem and thinking that there's something wrong with you and that you need to fix something. And so you become hyper vigilant. And I feel like this is also a symptom of having a fearful, avoidant, disorganized attachment style, is you think that you're broken or something is wrong with you. And so you go all in, you hyper fixate on the problem, your brain is constantly focused on, it's scanning for what is going wrong in your body. Am I having pain in this part of my body, in my back, my upper back? Am I holding too much tension in this place? Am I not letting go enough in this place? And the more you focus on that, the more magnified it becomes. The more you focus on pain in your upper back, when it's not really coming from anywhere physical, it's coming from your head. I used to think that it was coming from the jobs that I had in the past that were kind of labor intensive. And then once I stopped having those jobs, I noticed that the pain didn't go away. It was coming from my mind. I was magnifying the pain that I was feeling in my back, in my stomach, in my hips, in my heart, in my throat. All of these things, because I was hyper fixating on them and I was in fight or flight and super vigilant, hyper vigilant on what was going on, I magnified these things and made them worse. So what you want to start to do is you want to start telling your body and showing your body that it is okay to feel whatever you're feeling, and take your attention away from whatever you are experiencing. I know a lot of people usually say, pay attention to what you're feeling in your body and put a lot of focus on that, and that is how you heal it. But in this case, if you have a lot of anxiety and you have all these thoughts about what could be going wrong in your body, like, are you breathing the right way? Are you doing everything the right way? If you have a fearful, avoidant attachment style, especially, you're constantly worried about, am I doing the right thing? Am I saying the right thing? And you're picking up on everybody's reactions around you as well. And you're constantly trying to be perfect. Nothing can go wrong. You're trying not to make any mistakes. So if you feel any sensation in your body, any emotion in your body that just seems out of the ordinary, like let's say you start to feel some tingling, and then your brain starts to make up all these stories about it, and then you start to hyperfixate on that, and then it starts to magnify, then you kind of are reaffirming the belief that something is wrong with you. You are not perfect, and you're constantly worried about perfection. To give you an example of this, I don't know if anybody has gone through this. It feels even weird to mention on camera, online, but I want to share it because I feel like if I went through this, then someone else must have also gone through it as well. And maybe it will help you see that where this is coming from. So something that I used to experience a lot of the time when I was in this state of hypervigilance and constantly worrying about every single sensation and every single feeling that came up, and instead of just allowing it to be, I would start to make up all these stories about it. One of the ways that I did this would be, I would start to feel like this pain in my chest, and that, I don't want to say hypochondriac, but it almost turned me, like, this hypervigilance turned me into a hypochondriac. Every single sensation that I would feel in my body, I would start to think something is wrong with me. I'm sick. And because of studying all these things about nutrition, I started to literally hyperfixate on things and think there was something always wrong with me. I'm not getting enough of this vitamin, and like this will lead to this disease, and this will lead to this sickness. And I was just constantly worried. So when I would start to feel pain in my chest, which could be caused by literally not breathing in enough deeply and just breathing in a shallow way, or even just sitting like this hunched because I'm looking at my phone or I'm doing work on my laptop and I'm not breathing in all the way and I'm not sitting upright, that sometimes causes pain in your chest. And whenever I would start to feel this, I would literally, my mind would immediately go to, oh my gosh, am I having a heart attack? I always heard that women have, like, it's harder to catch a heart attack for women because it manifests in different ways. And there was literally a time in my life where I thought I was having a heart attack. And the more I thought I was having a heart attack, the more I would even look up symptoms online and I would start to experience the symptoms in my body. My brain was literally causing me to feel the symptoms in my body, even though nothing was going on. I have even seen a doctor twice on 2 separate occasions. Oh my God, there's an ambulance outside. It's a little loud, sorry, hang on. Okay, sorry, it's gone now. But what I was saying was, I literally had to see doctors on separate occasions to see if anything was going wrong. And when they would do an AKG, because I thought I was having a heart attack, that was literally like a symptom of what was going on in my head. I manifested those like bodily sensations because I was so focused on them that I was magnifying them. When I would have the test, it'd be like, you're completely fine. I don't know where this is coming from. They're like, you're totally fine. There's nothing wrong with you. You're completely healthy. And I would do tests and nothing would come up physically. And this is how I knew this was literally a manifestation of what was going on in my head. I was manifesting this through anxiety. So I hope that this example helped you. And this happened in so many different areas as well with body pain that I was experiencing. I would start to have these thoughts of like thinking I had fibromyalgia or thinking that I had arthritis, but they were all pains related to what was going on in my head and me magnifying them. So I hope that this example helps you if this is something that you've experienced, because for the longest time, I could not find answers to this. I could not figure out what the issue was. I would go to doctors and they would say there's nothing wrong with me, and I was already eating healthy. So it made sense that there was nothing wrong. I would take my vitamins, I would take my supplements. It was literally all created in my head, through my anxiety. So it's really just like a lot of things that come together that to make this happen, that cause this issue. But the root thing that you need to understand is that you are okay. And the more you become okay with feeling the things that you think are not okay, the more you expand your awareness, the more that you actually hold space for your feelings, the more you become okay with feeling things that you think are not okay, the more you are expanding your rubber band, the more you are expanding your tolerance for feeling feeling uncomfortable feelings, feeling things that you thought were not okay to feel, expressing yourself, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations that outside of your comfort zone without shutting down, without thinking there's something wrong with you, without actually having to fix anything about yourself. You're showing yourself that it is safe to feel certain emotions, to put yourself in certain situations, especially if there is no physical danger. You're expanding your tolerance for tolerating pain. You're expanding your nervous system, the tolerance of your nervous system of what it is able to allow. Because maybe in the past you've experienced this, and if you had an insecure attachment from childhood, you may not be able to handle these things in the same way that a person with a secure attachment would be able to handle it. You may start to make up stories about it. You may start to magnify it. You may go into, if you're already in fight or flight, this is going to affect your health, your actual health. You're going to manifest problems that don't actually need to exist. So this is literally what I'm going to be discussing in the course that I will be releasing, and I will leave the link for that below. I've not launched the course yet, but I have a pre-launch sale price that is going to be included with the course below, and I will be uploading the course lessons one lesson at a time. If this is something that you're interested in, if this is something that you have struggled with for a long time, I will be sharing tips in this course on how to actually regulate your nervous system, how to increase that window of tolerance, and how to become okay with feeling these emotions that you maybe want to shove aside or you want to numb and use unhealthy coping mechanisms to deal with. I'm going to be sharing all of these things in the course. So if this is something that interests you, I will leave the link below. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.